Atiku Abubakar, the unifier, the man with unequaled experience, understands that our strength and power lies in being one people, one country, so that we can achieve one future. As one, we can get it done.
Hello guys, welcome back to this very beautiful show, Social Trends on AtikuLive. Your favorite host right here, Sarah, and with me...
Onye Bakanista. Nice to have you once again.
You're always talking as if you're toasting my audience. Please don't toast them. So guys, we are back again.
They are very comfortable with me.
Yeah, they are, but I'm still the favorite. We don't have to argue. Don't worry, you're not ghost. Okay. Don't argue with me.
I give that to you.
So guys, we are back with very interesting gist. You know, we always bring you the latest gist. So there's a lot going around right now, you know, starting from Jigawa State releasing a statement on their MCCT program, you know, to a man who was caught trying to sell his mother's car, to ASU updates. Like we have a lot to go, guys. Okay, let's just kick it off. Let's just start already. I know they are salivating, you know, waiting to just hear the gist. So starting first things first, the Jigawa State government released a statement, you know, the maternal and child cash transfer program. So according to the statement, the state has spent about 192 billion naira on this program, and this is between June 2021 and November 2021 and June 2022. It's not even up to a year, and you know, we're talking a whole, like the budget for this state is not even up to this amount. As at 2021, when the budget request was placed, the budget was aimed at 177 billion naira. So you can see the difference, guys. It's not even up to, like, that 192 billion is not even, is way more than the whole state's budget. So like, what's going on?
You see, this is a regular occurrence with this country, and this trend is being noticed since 2015. Now, when Dr. Ibrahim, the executive secretary of the board, claimed that he spent about 196 billion naira on cash transfer, so about 5,740 women in the state between the months of November and June. And so that means the average recipient should get about 3 million naira per month. But when he was giving the breakdown, he said, according to him, that about 32,000 naira was paid to each of the beneficiaries per month, and another 4,000 naira was paid to them. So his total was about 183 billion naira for between the month of November and June. But when you do the breakdown, between that period, each person should not get more than 36,000. Sorry, more than 3 million naira, 3.5 million naira. My calculation is right. Each person, monthly basis. Now, on a 9-month basis, each person should get about 31.9 million naira.
Wow.
So, but again, if you go by his own calculation of 36,000 naira, that means the state is spent about 1.8 billion naira for the 9-month period.
So what
so
is really
there is a very huge gap.
Okay, so let me read a statement that was made by Mr. Rabakaya, who is the Executive Secretary of Jigawa State Rehabilitation Board. All right, guys, according to this statement, he said that each of the 5,740 beneficiaries received 32,000 and 4,000 naira monthly. Yes, from November 2021 to June 2022, amounting to 183 billion naira. He added that 4 million was expended as extra charges. 4.5, that's 688.8 million as bank charges. No, this was the one that really blew me away. Guys, like 700 naira will leave my account as bank charge, and my heart to be beating like
The one
600.
see, the one that we should talk about is actually his own calculation. Now, if he said each beneficiary got about 36,000 naira monthly, we are talking about 205 or 206 million naira.
Like this is just very shocking. Very shocking.
There's a huge gap. There's a huge gap amounting to over 107 billion naira. And this is a very huge money. You understand me? 170 million naira. This is a very huge money that can cover Jigawa State's annual budget.
Definitely. That's why I'm in shock.
Now,
I have to dig up their budget for the...
Now, he talked about, if you notice, he talked about bank charges and other charges. Again, what is bank charges and what is other charges?
Other charges, right?
And again, he talked about ATM cards for beneficiaries.
ATM cards.
Is he saying that the beneficiaries never had existing bank accounts before now? Were they not issued ATM cards by their respective banks? And again, if you notice, he even countered himself by saying that some beneficiaries were not paid because of they had issues with their BVN. That means the beneficiaries that were paid never had issues with their BVN, so they had existing bank accounts. Okay,
so yes, exactly, and again, at least 10 out of 20 people should own an ATM card already, right?
See,
so how are you calculating for everybody?
The thing is that it's simple. There is an alleged fraud, in my opinion, that I believe that the security agencies should look into, and the governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Badaru, if he doesn't condone such behavior, then he should look into it and take action. Otherwise, I believe that the FCC and the ICPC should point their searchlight on Jigawa State. Because see, we are in an election year, and these figures are not surprising to me. And if you also notice that since the coming of the administration, before every election, there is always the budget for subsidy is usually high. Before every election year, since this government came on board. So again, I think there is a pattern. And if you look at the pattern of Jigawa State government, look at the pattern of the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, where she said she spent about 500 million naira to feed school children within 2 months during lockdown and everything. There's a pattern. So, like I said yesterday or some time ago, that if the government is not part of this illicit behavior, then they have to step in and address it, because the money is too huge. It's not 1 million naira. You're talking of over 170 billion naira. Like there's a gigantic that can take care of this money. Can take care of virtually almost every sector of Jigawa State economy. If you put 170 billion naira into Jigawa State today, you will see rapid growth. Of course. But of course, just like I earlier stated, that the budget for 2022 is just about 177 billion naira. So that means they spent that means more than their budget. More than their budget on 5,740 persons. Imagine that, like, guys, this is funny, it's quite ridiculous, and honestly. It cannot be justified, and I believe that. But like you said, it's actually a little like there's a loophole here, and I think we want more answers. I can't be the only one. I'm sure the audience right now want to know how on earth you are issuing ATM cards to over 5,000 women, and is it that all of them did not have ATM cards? It's not adding up. It doesn't add up, and it can't add up. And it's even strange that a government will be purchasing ATM cards for citizens. I've never heard it before. So it's strange. Nigeria is a wonderful place. Yeah, it's a wonderful place, and we hope that this trend doesn't continue. Honestly, so he went ahead to say that 172 beneficiaries of this particular fund had issues with their bank verification number, and their payment was not successful, but they will receive payment as soon as the issue is resolved. You see now, he counted himself. So if the figure you just quoted are yet to get their BVN, then that means the persons he allegedly paid that amount already were in possession of existing bank account, and their and their BVN was intact. So at least 60% of those persons should have existing ATM card.
Yes.
But again, is it the business of the Jigawa state government or any government at all to purchase ATM card for citizens? I don't think so. I've not heard of it before. So it's just strange.
It's very strange, honestly. So guys, you know, moving on, we have the president of ASU, Professor Emmanuel Osodeke. He goes on to say on an interview that the government should have used the $23 million from the Abacha loot to, you know, settle the whole ASU. What do you see about it?
Well, I think Prof was just being sarcastic.
But he seemed very serious, if you notice. He seemed very serious.
He made a very key point during the interview. He expressed willingness on the part of ASU to shift grounds.
Yes.
But under 3 conditions. ASU needs sincerity, 1. Second, the government should clearly tell them if they are in tune with their preferred users at their payment platform, or the government is insisting on IPPIS.
Yes.
Now, the other condition is that they want government to tell ASU and Nigerians how much have they reserved to settle ASU, and where is the money lodged, and also when will the payments be made. Now, you see, to me, I think the ASU, they have been very sincere, and then I think the final condition is that government should come out to tell them if they, being the federal government, have agreed with the agreement that was reached between ASU and the panel appointed by the federal government. You see, these preconditions, rather, they are not obnoxious. And it's something that a sincere government that means well for the citizen and for the welfare of Nigerian youth, specifically with respect to education and also the welfare of our labor force, like the lecturers. Yes, I believe that any sincere government that have that in mind should easily agree to, and they oblige them. First, if government claim that they've set aside certain amount to take care of ASU, how much have been set aside? Where is the money lodged?
Yes.
When will the disbursement be made? Now,
these are logical demands.
We have our own demands that, look, we don't trust IPPIS because it's not working. We prefer UTAS. As a government, come to us. Have you accepted our demand for UTAS, or you are still insisting on IPPIS? Now, thirdly, come on. They say, look, you appointed a panel to negotiate with us on your behalf. We have reached an agreement. Come and tell us if you have accepted the agreement reached between the panel you appointed and we, ASU. You get my point? So,
yes.
So I believe that it's quite serious. The whole ASU tension is getting too much. The tension is serious but unnecessary. It's serious because we don't have a government that prioritizes the education and welfare of Nigerian youth. Because ASU issue should be the top priority of this government. This strike has been on since February. It started as a warning strike before it got to this point. About 8 months is gone. Like 7 months plus is gone, rather, and our young ones are at home.
Yes, so many of them have even settled to doing all sorts of rubbish because there's nobody is willing to employ somebody who does not possess a degree. Like even those with a degree are still finding it very hard to get jobs. So imagine not having a degree. How do you want to fend for yourself? Another twist in this era is that if you check out labor employment magazines, you will see age limits and everything and all of that. Now you see somebody get admission into university at the age of 22. You should study a 4-year course, except to graduate at the age of 26. Yes. Do his service at 27, and going to the labor market at 28. He is under the 30 years age bracket. Understand? Now he gains admission rather than complete his education and his service at 28.
he spent extra 1 or 2 years. Now, the another danger is that he may be ineligible for the mandatory National Youth Service Corps. So you see, you will have to apply for exemption, and now you will also be at a disadvantage in the labor market because he is seen as overaged and access to requirements. So for me, I believe that there are a lot of twists in this, and the government should look at these issues.
Well, it's all right, guys. We are just going to go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll have more to discuss about. Just bear with us.
Here, most of the differences is either North-South or Muslim-Christian. These are the divisions. These divisions are deep. You see, even in the smallest family unit, you need unity to have stability, peace and progress of that family. Now, translate that into a bigger and more complex country like Nigeria. And therefore, unity is number one.
Atiku knows about diversity. His inner circle reflects the face of Nigeria.
And then when you see the crowd around him, the mixture is amazing. There's hardly any ethnic group that's not present around him.
And for you to be admired by the various segments of the citizens of this country, his secret that he has a touch.
The type of leader that Nigeria needs is somebody who will unite the people together. I believe strongly that Atiku Abubakar is that type of leader. So he has so many friends everywhere, among the Christians, among the Muslims, and also outside Nigeria.
People find it safe to rely on him, to rely on what he's saying and what he's doing.
Ability to chart the course and steer the ship.
He understands the problem of this country. He understands the heartbeat of Nigerians.
So I see hope in his leadership.
This man can be trusted. I have no hesitation at all in endorsing him as candidate for president for Nigeria in 2000.
Here most of...
Welcome back, guys. I know that felt like forever, but I'm back for you with more gist. So, still on the ASU matter, I'm just going to say one little thing that, the ASU president said during his interview. He made a statement and said that if, as a father, you have a child that hasn't been well, and you didn't have any money to take care of this child all along, and then suddenly you receive an amount of money that you weren't even expecting, what would be the first thing for you to do? He said, as a father, you would first take care of that child, right? And, source for all his medical needs and attention and pay anything, no matter what. Because, that money, you were not expecting it, right? So whatever it is to make my child okay, just take the money and just let my child be okay. That was what he said. But what's your take on that particular statement he made?
Professor Emmanuel can be very funny at times and sarcastic rather. But I feel that, yes, it's true because of in the hierarchy of needs, welfare and health comes first. So you cannot say because you don't know the source of a particular fund and try to, instead of thinking of the medical bills of your ward, seeking treatment, you are looking for where the money comes from. That is secondary, you can solve that later, and in my own opinion. But in the context of what is happening, I believe that he's simply saying that the welfare of the Nigerian students should be prioritized, because the sick child in this context, as students seeking education, understand, to gain knowledge and enlightenment, so as to be productive to themselves and also to society. So if a money comes in, the student money in this context is the Abacha loot that was repatriated into the country. So he said, look, rather than deliberating on how this money comes from, how use it to solve the immediate need, the pressing needs, then afterwards you go back to solve other challenges.
Well, it's all right, guys. That's all for the ASU talk, because I mean it's getting too long. We've been
it's
talking
getting too long,
and it's been a while now. Come on. You know, moving on, let's talk about, you know, the statement that the former governor of Kaduna State, you know, Mr. Ahmed Markafi, he made a statement urging presidential candidates for the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and also presidential candidates for NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, to come back to PDP. Okay,
well, you see, firstly, Senator Markafi is a political stakeholder in this country, a very respected figure that has made his mark as an administrator, a civil servant, a legislator, and also the management of party politics.
Wow.
So now, as a person, he was instrumental to the coming of Rabiu Kwankwaso to the party in 2017, 2018 rather, and also was also instrumental to the coming of to PDP of Mr. Peter Obi from ABGA. That was in 2015.
Wow.
So you see, he spoke from position of love and patriotism, in the sense that if you look at Nigeria today, we need a unifying force to confront the ruling party that has plunged us into the present woes we find ourselves. Of recent, a national daily reported that Nigeria, our borrowing has exceeded our limits.
Oh,
so
wow.
You see, if now to confront these things, all hands must be on deck. Now, Rabiu Kwankwaso is a progressive person, a politician,
yes,
an administrator in his own right. As governor of Kano State, he did extremely well, and he commands huge following in the state. And if a personality like that could jettison his own personal ambition and join us with the major opposition party to see how they can move the country from where it is to where it should be, because this country needs to be rescued and reset for a better,
as quick as possible,
for a better society for all. And Mr. Peter Obi, his name has resonated with the youths who mostly are frustrated with the present economic, security and social woes. And they look up to him as a role model and a mentor, but that is not enough.
True.
The platform is running under. Let's be sincere. They don't have the capacity to win election, even in Anambra State. I'm speaking from the facts now. In the last election in Anambra State, that was held in November 2021, the party performed almost woefully. In Osun State gubernatorial election, the party had less than 2,500 votes in the entire state. In some local government, they had less than 60 votes, some local governments. In Ekiti State, the party performance was even worse than what was experienced in Osun.
That's serious.
Ironically, the party's candidate in Osun, Honorable Yusuf Lasso, is immediate past Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. So he has a little bit of popularity. But again, the platform is not enough.
The popularity wasn't enough, right?
As for PDP, PDP is considered the biggest platform in Africa. Wherever you go in this country, whenever the name PDP is mentioned, the next thing that comes to the mind of anybody is power.
Yeah, of course.
Understand?
Of
whenever the umbrella is displayed under any political discourse, the average Nigerian think of PDP because that's what it represents. So you see, it's a party that has done well as ruling party between the 1999 to 2015. It is doing well in states. Look at your states, what Governor Makinde is doing. Look at Rivers State, what Governor Wiki is doing. Delta State, what Governor Kowa is doing. Look at what Governor Amadou Fintri is doing in Adamawa State, Bauchi State too. See, they need to now, but again, there is need for every stakeholder that means well for the country to queue behind the candidate of the party and then see how to confront the present challenges. So I totally agree with the position of His Excellency Senator Ahmed Markafi.
Oh, Well, in an official statement made by Senator Markafi, he said, Peter Obi respects me. I respect him. Kwankwaso still is my friend. I respect him. But the issue is that we should all swallow personal ambition for the sake of this country and bring positive change by changing the government that is in power today. I call on other opposition parties to actually come together, especially Peter Obi. PDP will be home to him. PDP will be home to his supporters, and Kwankwaso. We all started PDP together. Let us come back home and do what is needful for the country.
Okay, now you see, let us also consider that when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State under ABGA, not PDP, because of his potentials, the PDP government then, President Jonathan, jettisoned partisanship and appointed him into his economic management team.
Yeah.
Kwankwaso too has also showed capacity. He was governor 1999 to 2003. In 2007, he wanted to run, and then the then government of Obasanjo prevailed. Look, in 2003 you ran, and then he lost. In 2007, he wanted to return.
Yeah.
But between 2003 and 2007, he was already Minister of Defense and doing well. Our security architecture was really improved under him. And the then government said, look, abandon this your ambition to be governor. Continue to work with the federal government to give democratic dividends to Nigerians. And it was a personal ambition. He abandoned it, and he sacrificed it rather. And he was working with the government of President Yaradua. So you see, sometimes we have to, of course, we all have ambition. We are all ambitious people. But sometimes we have to also consider the interest of the larger society.
Of course.
What is the need for the opposition parties to split their votes when they can unite together? Understand? Behind the leading candidate, the opposition candidate,
this particular
to confront the present challenges. See, 2023 is not about APC, it's not about PDP, it's not about Tinubu, it's not about Atiku, it's about Nigeria. Now, it's about who believe in Nigeria, who can unify this country, because the Nigeria today is heavily divided along ethnic and religious lines.
Man, you need to calm down. We can see your frustration, but
no, you see, the average Nigerian is frustrated. Even the APC man today, if he goes to the market, if the APC man goes to the market today now, a module of beans that he used to buy 200 naira, he still pays the 800 naira that I pay.
Of course.
So we are all affected in this situation.
This particular topic will set another day and time. We'll have to come back here and talk about this finally. We'll just give you the whole stage, so you just handle it.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, guys. It's been a very nice, interesting time with you, and hope to catch you same time, same station. Yeah, same time, same station. Okay.
And also they should follow our
follow
social media.
Yeah, sure. Follow our social media handles. It's displayed on your screen right now. So, do the needful. Subscribe, follow, share.
Social trends. You should follow the
hashtag.
Also,
you can interact on our social media platform, like Twitter, use our handles. Do it for me, your favorite. Do it for me.
And I think from tomorrow we should have a conversation, so that it will be like a two-way communication.
Yes, we would have to do that, guys. But until then, see you next time.
And
bye.
Bye.